over 60. Here's a question most people never ask. Is your calcium routine actually hurting your bones instead of protecting them? We've been told for decades, take your calcium, drink your milk, and your bones will stay strong. But here's the shocking truth. Millions of people over 60 are making calcium mistakes every single day, and many don't even realize it. These mistakes can lead to weaker bones, painful cramps, kidney stones, or even more falls and fractures. And the scary part, some of these mistakes come from following advice that seems perfectly healthy. That's why this video is so important, because the very habits you trust might be the ones slowly working against you. In the next few minutes, we're going to uncover the 4 worst calcium mistakes that doctors quietly warn their patients about. These are mistakes I see over and over again in people over 60. And if you've been struggling with brittle bones, muscle weakness, or simply worried about osteoporosis, you need to hear this. But don't worry, it's not all bad news. Once you know these traps, you can avoid them. And later in this video, I'll share 4 simple, science-backed habits that actually help calcium do its job the right way without the risks. So stay with me, because mistake number 1 is something almost every senior I've met has done, and the consequences can last for years. Most people over 60 know they need calcium for strong bones. It's the first thing doctors, friends, and even advertisements tell us. Take your calcium and you'll protect your bones. So many seniors grab a bottle of calcium tablets, swallow one every morning, and feel reassured. But here's the hidden truth. Calcium on its own doesn't know where to go in your body. Without the right partners, it can become more of a threat than a protector. Let's break it down. Vitamin D is the key that unlocks your gut, allowing calcium to actually get absorbed into your bloodstream. Without enough vitamin D, most of that calcium passes right through your system, wasted. But even if it does get into your blood, there's another problem. Without vitamin K2, calcium often drifts into the wrong places: your arteries, your joints, and even your kidneys, where it can cause stiffness, blockages, and stones. That means you could take calcium faithfully for years, yet still end up with brittle bones and clogged arteries. Think of calcium as the bricks for building your house. Vitamin D is the delivery truck, making sure those bricks arrive at the construction site. Vitamin K2 is the builder who carefully places them into the walls where they belong. Now imagine ordering thousands of bricks without a delivery truck or a builder. The result? Bricks piling up in the driveway, blocking your path, while the house remains unfinished. That's exactly what happens when calcium is taken alone. The evidence is clear. Research shows that people low in vitamin D struggle to absorb calcium effectively, and studies also reveal that insufficient vitamin K2 allows calcium to harden blood vessels, increasing risks of heart disease. Unfortunately, seniors are especially vulnerable, since many get little sunlight for vitamin D, and foods rich in K2 like leafy greens, eggs, or fermented cheeses are often missing from daily diets. So the real mistake here isn't taking calcium, it's taking calcium by itself, without its essential partners. And it's a mistake I see all too often. Here's the good news. Your body can still use calcium properly once you give it the support it needs. With enough vitamin D and K2, the calcium you already take can finally do its job building bones, keeping muscles strong, and protecting your heart. Later in this video, I'll show you practical, safe ways to make sure you're not just taking calcium, but taking it smart. But before that, let's move on to mistake number 2, which might shock you, because while many people fail by not pairing calcium correctly, even more people fail by believing that more calcium must mean better bones. And that belief can backfire in a very painful way. For decades, dairy has been marketed as the ultimate source of calcium. Commercials showed strong kids drinking milk, and the message stuck with us. If you want healthy bones, drink your milk. Many of us carried that belief into adulthood, and today, thousands of people over 60 still lean heavily on milk, cheese, and yogurt for their calcium. But here's the problem. Relying only on dairy is a mistake that can leave your bones weaker than you think. First, let's talk about digestion. As we age, our bodies produce less lactase, the enzyme that breaks down lactose in milk. That's why lactose intolerance becomes more common after 50. The symptoms: bloating, gas, cramps, diarrhea aren't just uncomfortable. They also reduce nutrient absorption. In other words, if dairy upsets your stomach, your body isn't even getting much of the calcium from it. Second, dairy is missing important partners. Yes, it provides calcium, but it doesn't bring enough magnesium, potassium, or vitamin K2 nutrients your bones desperately need to use calcium properly. Think of it this way. Calcium is like the bricks, but without magnesium and K2, you don't have the mortar or the builder. A wall made of bricks alone won't stand strong for long. Third, too much dairy can actually create other health concerns. Full-fat dairy products may add saturated fat, which isn't ideal for heart health. Some cheeses are high in salt, which can raise blood pressure, and many flavored yogurts come packed with sugar, which contributes to inflammation, something that works against bone strength. Now let's think about what happens when someone relies too heavily on dairy. They might drink 2 or 3 glasses of milk, eat cheese daily, and add yogurt for dessert, believing they're covering their calcium needs. But because they're not getting enough variety, they're missing out on plant-based sources rich in magnesium, seeds packed with trace minerals, or small fish that provide both calcium and protein. The diet looks calcium-rich on the surface, but it's incomplete underneath. The truth is, the strongest bones don't come from a single food. They come from balance. Leafy greens like kale, collard greens, and bok choy provide calcium plus vitamin K. Almonds, sesame seeds, and chia seeds contribute not just calcium but also magnesium and healthy fats. Sardines and anchovies eaten with the bones supply highly absorbable calcium along with vitamin D and protein. Even beans and lentils provide plant-based calcium while adding fiber for gut health. Imagine building a house with only one type of brick. You might get some walls up, but the structure would be fragile and uneven. Now imagine building with a mix of bricks, cement, steel, and wood. That's the difference between relying on dairy alone and eating a variety of calcium sources. One gives you short-term results, the other builds strength that lasts. Now, I'm not saying dairy is bad. Far from it. For many seniors, low-fat milk, yogurt, or cheese can absolutely be part of a healthy diet. The mistake is thinking that dairy is enough. If it makes up 80 to 90% of your calcium intake, you're likely missing critical nutrients that keep calcium in your bones instead of letting it drift elsewhere. So the takeaway here is balance. Enjoy your dairy, but don't stop there. Think of it as one tool in your toolbox, not the whole workshop. Your bones need a variety of building blocks, and the best way to get them is by mixing dairy with plants, seeds, nuts, beans, and small fish. Later in this video, I'll give you simple examples of balanced meal combinations that cover all these bases without being complicated. But first, let's uncover mistake number 4, the sneakiest one of all. Because even if you get the right foods, and even if you take the right supplements, the timing of calcium can make or break how much your body actually uses. And this is where many people, even the careful ones, slip up. You might be doing everything right, choosing good calcium foods, taking safe doses of supplements, and even remembering to pair calcium with vitamin D and K2. But here's the catch. If you take calcium at the wrong time, your body may barely use it at all. Timing sounds like a small detail, but it can make the difference between calcium strengthening your bones or just passing through your body wasted. And this is where many seniors unknowingly slip up. Let's start with one of the most common mistakes, taking calcium with your morning coffee or tea. Both drinks contain caffeine and tannins, which interfere with calcium absorption. It's almost like trying to water a plant while someone else is pouring sand into the soil at the same time the roots can't take in what they need. So, if your habit is to swallow your calcium pill right before sipping your coffee, much of that calcium never makes it into your system. Another hidden trap is pairing calcium with iron-rich meals or supplements. Iron and calcium compete for absorption in the gut. That means if you take an iron pill and a calcium pill together, or eat a steak dinner with a calcium supplement, both nutrients end up fighting for the same doorway and both lose out. Then there's the issue of dose size. The human body can only absorb about 500 milligrams of calcium at one time. If you swallow a single 1 milligram pill, roughly half of it goes to waste. It's like filling a sponge with water. It can only soak up so much before the rest drips away. Another timing mistake: taking calcium right before bed on an empty stomach. Some forms of calcium, like calcium carbonate, actually need stomach acid to break down properly. Without food in your stomach, absorption drops. On the other hand, calcium citrate can be taken with or without food, but even then, splitting doses across the day is still more effective. So, what's the smarter way? Here are 3 practical timing rules most seniors find helpful. Split your doses. If you need 1 dozen milligrams daily, take 500 milligrams with lunch and 500 milligrams with dinner instead of all at once. Pair with meals. Take calcium with food, especially meals that contain a little healthy fat, which helps absorption. Avoid competition. Don't take calcium at the same time as coffee, tea, or iron supplements. Give at least 2 hours of space between them. Think of calcium like a guest arriving at a party. If it shows up at the right time when the table is set, the music is playing, and the host is ready, it feels welcome and finds its place. But if it shows up too early, when the doors are locked, or too late, when the food is gone, it just lingers outside, unwanted. The sad truth is many people over 60 who do everything right still end up with weak bones. Not because of what they take, but when they take it. Over years, those little timing errors add up, leaving the skeleton less supported than it should be. The good news: fixing this mistake doesn't require extra money, new supplements, or complicated routines. It's all about awareness and small adjustments. Once you start taking calcium at the right times, your bones get more benefit from the same amount. And now that we've covered the 4 major mistakes, it's time to flip the story. Because avoiding mistakes is powerful, but combining that with the right habits is what truly transforms bone health. So, in the next section, we'll walk through 4 simple, science-backed habits that make calcium work with your body, not against it. If these calcium mistakes have surprised you so far, you're not alone. I meet so many people over 60 who think they're protecting their bones only to discover they've been making one of these silent errors for years. And the truth is, just learning these lessons can already put you ahead of the crowd. That's exactly why I created this channel. To make health simple, clear, and practical, especially for seniors who want to stay strong and independent. So if you've found this video helpful, here's a small favor you can do that makes a big difference. Tap the like button. It helps more people discover this information. Leave me a quick comment sharing which mistake shocked you most. I truly read them all. And of course, hit subscribe to Vital Health so you never miss the next step-by-step guide designed to keep your body thriving after 60. Because the journey to stronger bones doesn't stop here, it's just getting started. We've spent most of this video uncovering the wrong ways to handle calcium mistakes that silently weaken bones. Now, let's flip the script. Because the real power comes when you not only avoid mistakes, but also build the right habits that make calcium actually work for you. Habit 1. Always pair calcium with vitamin D and K2. Think of this as the golden trio. Without D and K2, calcium floats aimlessly. With them, it gets absorbed and delivered straight to your bones, where it belongs. Make a daily habit of safe sunlight, or foods like salmon and eggs for vitamin D, and leafy greens or fermented cheese for vitamin K2. If your diet falls short, smart supplementation can help. Habit 2. Keep your dose moderate and steady. Instead of swallowing huge tablets, spread calcium throughout the day. Aim for food first: dairy plus greens, beans, nuts, and small fish. If you need a supplement, stick to the recommended amount and split it into smaller doses. Remember, bones need consistency, not overload. Habit 3. Build variety into your meals. Your bones thrive on diversity. One day, it might be a spinach omelet with cheese. Another day, sardines on whole grain toast. Sprinkle sesame seeds over a salad. Or enjoy a yogurt parfait with almonds. Each food brings a different tool to the construction crew working on your skeleton. Habit 4. Time it wisely. Take calcium with meals, not with coffee or tea. Keep it separate from iron. And if you need 1 dozen milligrams daily, divide it half at lunch, half at dinner. That way, your body absorbs more, wastes less, and your bones reap the full reward. The beauty of these habits is that they're simple, no complicated routines, no expensive products, just small, intentional shifts that protect your bones day after day. Now that you've seen both sides, the mistakes to avoid and the habits to follow, you have the roadmap. But before we wrap up, let's quickly bust a couple of common myths that confuse so many people about calcium. Before we close, let's bust a few common myths that confuse so many people about calcium. Clearing these up will help you avoid unnecessary worry and focus on what truly matters. Myth 1. The more calcium I take, the stronger my bones will be. False. Your body has a limit, beyond about 200 milligrams per day. Extra calcium won't strengthen bones, it's more likely to end up in your kidneys or arteries. Balance matters more than quantity. Myth 2. Dairy is the only good source of calcium. Not true. Dairy can help, but leafy greens, nuts, seeds, beans, and small fish with bones are equally powerful. In fact, combining plant and animal sources often gives better results because you get extra nutrients dairy doesn't supply. Myth 3. If I take calcium, I don't need to worry about anything else. Dangerous thinking. Calcium works only as part of a bigger picture. Vitamin D, vitamin K2, magnesium, and lifestyle choices like exercise all matter. A pill alone isn't enough. 1. Should I take calcium in the morning or evening? Either works, as long as you pair it with food and split large doses into 2. The real rule is timing it away from coffee, tea, or iron supplements. FAQ 2. Can I get enough calcium from food alone? Many people can if their diet is varied, but if appetite is small, or if certain foods are off limits, a supplement may be useful. Think of supplements as filling the gaps, not replacing meals. The bottom line, strong bones come from smart habits, not myths. And now you know how to separate fact from fiction. We've covered a lot today, so let's quickly bring it all together. If you're over 60, calcium can be your greatest ally or your silent enemy. The difference comes down to habits, and as you've seen, 4 mistakes stand out above the rest. Mistake number 1. Taking calcium without its partners, vitamin D and K2. Mistake number 2, overloading your body with too much calcium, thinking more is better. Mistake number 3, relying only on dairy, missing the variety your bones truly need. Mistake number 4, taking calcium at the wrong time, letting coffee, tea, or iron block absorption. Each of these mistakes may seem small, but together they can weaken bones, clog arteries, or waste years of effort. And the saddest part is they're all preventable. That's why we also highlighted the 4 habits that actually work. Pair calcium with D and K2. Keep doses moderate. Build variety into meals, and time it wisely. These aren't complicated. They're small, steady actions anyone can take, starting today. And over time, they can mean the difference between fragile bones and a strong, supported body that lets you keep doing the things you love. So here's my challenge to you. Take just one of these habits and put it into action this week. Maybe it's splitting your calcium dose in 2. Maybe it's adding leafy greens to your dinner. Or maybe it's simply moving your supplement away from your morning coffee. One small change can start shifting your bone health in the right direction. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these mistakes have you caught yourself making? And which habit are you going to start with? Leave a quick comment below. I read every single one. And your story could inspire someone else watching today. If this video gave you even one useful insight, please hit the like button. It helps others find this information. And don't forget to subscribe to Vital Health for more clear, science-backed health tips designed especially for people over 60. Together, we can cut through the noise and build a healthier future, one smart step at a time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of your bones, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.